Morning, everyone. Today is going to be the last update for the calendar year. So today is December 23rd. I hope everyone's doing well. I'm going to be talking about some expectations for 2023. Kind of just wrapping up this year realistically. There's not going to be a lot of trading into next week, right? It's going to be a very low volume week. We've seen a low volume turnout this week as well. We saw a pretty decent move to the downside that was rebid yesterday into the close of the session. And overall, we did penetrate that 3,800 level on the futures just barely before we did see a stronger rally into the close. And today, kind of expecting a little more sideways action, sideways movement overall in the markets. And let's see, there's not too much news to talk about realistically because there hasn't really been much throughout this holiday season. A lot of traders, investors, and financial participants in the markets have been away, right? They've taken those earlier vacations that are now away from the screens, away from the markets, and we've seen that generally in volume. So the question is there going to be tax loss selling into the end of the year? Is there going to be an influx at the beginning of 2023 into the equity market, right? What are we dealing with here? And of course, everything is going to be all eyes on the Fed realistically, but money managers do have to realistically start rebalancing their books. Now, with a few polls that I see have been run here, right? There's not too much news. There was a poll led by the Wall Street Breakfast poll, right? About 2,300 readers responded. So obviously, it's a very, very small sample size of investors. But just based on this poll, we had about over 60%, about 62% of those respondents said that they're going to tilt most of their investments into equities, into ETFs, right? They said SPY, triple Qs, IWM, URTH. And according to these results, for the more risk averse, we have the cash SPRXX at 17.5% was a favorite over a lot of the bond ETFs that we have, the TLTs, the TBTs, the SHI, the junk, the LQD, right, at 12.2%, indicating that most investors are still skeptical of Fed rate cuts in the coming year. So the latest summary of economic projections showed that a the median FOMC expects short rates to rise to 5.1% and remain there for the entirety of 2023. So inflation to remain hundreds of basis points above the target through the year end, and the yield curve to remain in inversion for 2 more years, apparently, given the current levels of long rates. And the unemployment rate to only, quote unquote, only rise 110 bips from the recent trough to prospective peak. So that's what a lot of analysts and strategists have mentioned, and resulting from polls, those are some of the expectations, right? Rounding out the results, about 5.4% said that they will put their capital to work in commodities, USO, GLD, DBC, and nudging crypto out to about 2.7%. Excuse me. So Wall Street still fairly skeptical, right? The confidence in stocks from those that surveyed is in sharp contrast to the expectations from Wall Street strategists. Strategists expect below average returns for the S&P in 2023, naturally, right? I do as well, with many of their colleagues on the economics side predicting a global recession. On average, the 2023 year-end price on Wall Street is 4,080, right, with a little less than a 7% rise from the current price levels. Now, it's very hard to anticipate where the price is going to end into the end of 2023. I prefer just going step by step, quarter by quarter is a very fair start, I would say. And I think the first quarter we do see a decent bit of downside coming in. On the top end, we got Tom Lee, obviously the fun strat, most bullish bull of all time, with a target of 4,750, 4,750 on the SPX. And PNB Paribas, the Greg Boutel, is the most bearish, predicting a drop to 3,400. Now, I'm not entirely sure. Oh no, these are year-end targets. So I don't think 3,400 is going to be a year-end target. I think we could potentially visit it somewhere along the way, but that's a very, very bearish statement from BNP Paribas. So we have a very wide range here. And it's very interesting because these are big funds. This is big money. with very, very different expectations. So we'll see who comes out on top. That's usually, I don't think that there's such a vast difference between um, funds and banks, but we'll see. So JP Morgan's analysts also expecting the S&P to close out at 4,200, right? A view that's also shared by Wells Fargo, Goldman Sachs, and Citi. Also, Bank of America is predicting about 4,000 into the end of the year. So I think like a fair range as of now, which obviously can change, is going to be somewhere around the 4,000 region realistically. So we'll see how that shapes up. Um, Last year we did have a Santa Claus rally into the end of the year. This year, I don't think that we're very hopeful of something like that coming along the way. I'm just looking at the S&P right now because there's no real news, right? We just talk about the year end. Right now, price is teetering around the 3850 region. It's a huge, huge area. 3850 is a massive, massive stopping block. 3850 to 3848 is the bottom end of a distribution that we've seen play out multiple times over. As long as we can hold that, I think some of the bulls are going to try this, right, with 3869, an upside target, right? But if we do manage to move back below that area, we have the very, very key 38, 35, 36 region. We start accepting under that, I do think the bottom end of the distribution might get tagged again around 37.95s before we do see some potential bullishness coming in, right? If we do accept into the lower distribution block, it is a Friday. It's going to be, I think, the last Friday of the year that we actually see moderate to decent volume. So we could see some movement, but I'm not of high expectations in that realm of movement. So we'll see how this thing shapes up. I expect a little more just sideways action to end the day, somewhat bearish as well. But it is Friday after all, so if the bulls are going to take this is their perfect chance to do so, to close out the week, to almost close out the year. They're going to want to be actively bullish today. So with that being said, I hope everyone has an amazing holiday season, and we'll talk to you in the new year. And then we'll see how these predictions shape up. If you ask me, predictions very, very hard to come by. Take it quarter by quarter. I think in Q1 of 2023, we do see some downside targeting into that 3,500 region. That's as far as I can predict at this point. I think that things do settle down into the end of the year, and we get somewhat of a rally into the end of 2023. But again, very, very far away. I hope everything plays out and we have an amazing trading year, and let's get ready for that, right? We have a huge year coming up. This was a great year, and we've accomplished a lot, and I hope you did too. At TradePro Academy, we've adapted to different styles when we were trading options and swing trading, and also futures have been amazing. So if you want to check that out and join a vibrant, great community with a lot of experienced traders there, with a lot of ideas bouncing off each other and a lot of profit being shared, come check us out at community.tradeproacademy.com. Yeah, check that community out. Thank you all for the well wishes. I hope everyone has an amazing holiday season. Ivan, thank you so much. Весело коледа, живи здрав. Ти и семейството ти. Мерси. Благодаря. I'm just reading some of these. Ivan, и на тебе весели празници to all my Bulgarian friends. I hope you have an amazing holiday season to everyone, and let's keep this up. 2023 is another great year. Build on that consistency, and yeah, I don't really have much to say. Thanks all. I appreciate it, and we'll chat soon.